Is everybody doing good? How many people like to learn how to make money? If you want to have fun, say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, very good. How many are ready to stay for the entire day? Got plenty of notes and notepad paper with you? All right, well listen, I want to talk to you a little bit about what the Millionaire Wealth Summit is about, why we're here, why we're even doing this. Ladies and gentlemen, as Bill told you, I started out at 20 years old, and this afternoon I'm going to take 2 hours, and I'm going to work with you on a mission that I've been on the last 3 years. I haven't been on a stage or spoke to a group of people in almost 3 years, other than once 3 weeks ago in New York City. Other than that, I retired. I kind of took off about 3 years ago. Actually, it was March 8th of 08. And I went on a kind of a worldwide mission. And that worldwide mission was to figure out what life is about for me. What is the whole point of life? And I bet a lot of you are just like me. I had a meteoric rise. At age 23, I was financially independent. Age 27, I had a net worth of $1 million. I wrote a book on how I did it, which I'm going to explain to you how all that happened this afternoon. I wrote a book on how I did it when I was 27 years old. The book, although I never expected it to sell a copy, the book sold over 500,000 copies. Next thing you know, I'm asked to speak in seminars, which I had never had any plan to do that. I was a real estate guy. I was a guy who started with low and moderate income properties. I'd buy properties below value. I'd go in and I'd paint them, I'd clean them, I'd jazz them up, force the value up. The mathematical formulas in real estate are very simple, and my son has been working with me for 10 years. Well, he's been working with me for 30 years. The first 20, he didn't want anything to do with me, but the last 10, he said, maybe you've got a point, Dad. So my son is going to come up and he's going to work with you on our beginning and intermediate real estate investment programs. And that simply means my idea of somebody coming to learn how to make money is very simple. If you want to make money, you got to find something you're passionate about, something you like. And so let me just start with a basic law. There's a law that we use called the law of cause and result. Cause and result. And here's what that law says. That law says if you get into business just for the money, let's say like a lot of people get into multi-level marketing or network marketing, and they get sold on the fact that all you got to do is recruit somebody, and they all do all the work and you get the checks. Does that seem plausible to you? Hello? How many people have ever tried network marketing? Multi-level marketing. Come on, raise your hands. If you lie about this, you'll lie about other things. All right. And now, how many people are still getting your $12,000 a year residual check? One. How many are getting $1,000 a month? 100 a month. The problem with that whole concept is network marketing works. I have some very good friends who made a lot of money in it. However, they followed the law of cause and result. That's why they made the money. People who want to get involved in real estate investing, they follow the law of cause and result. People who want to get involved in internet marketing. Right now, one of the simplest businesses, and you're going to learn about that today, is the internet marketing business. Internet marketing, how to start a business right from home, how to market on the internet. Many people are making good small part-time incomes, maybe not millions. Some people are making an extra, $300 a week or $500 a month. How many of you would like to make an extra $500 a month starting tomorrow? Everybody in the room, how many people would like to be financially independent? How many people want to be just filthy rich? That's good. That's good. And that's what this summit is about. The summit is a little bit about hope. And again, in a moment, I'm going to get to you about why we're here. Why would Russ Whitney and Kevin Harrington, who's the star in Shark Tank, he's launched over $4 billion worth of products on the internet. Why are we here? Now, today we've got maybe a couple of hundred people, and tomorrow a couple of hundred. Why are we here talking to you? If I was sitting in that chair, I'd want to know why. And there's some very, very good reasons, and I think you're going to be the recipient. For some reason or other, you're not here by accident. You know what I mean? There were however many million people there are in Phoenix and Glendale and Chandler and all these areas that had a chance to be here. You came. That separates you from the average man or woman on the street that would not take a day out of their life, particularly a Saturday, out of their life and fight some traffic or construction or whatever, and be here. And I think I have the answers, not only for why, I definitely have the answers for why I'm here, but I think I have some answers for why you're here. That's going to make a lot of sense for you today. So let me just get back to the financial independence, or the law of cause and result part. The law of cause and result says this, okay, and that's what today's about. The law of cause and result says that money in business is a result, not a cause. Okay, so the Rolex, the cash, the Rolls Royce, the jet, or whatever it is you spend your money on, that's all a result, not a cause. So if you get into business just for the money, network marketing, someone else is going to do all the work, you're probably going to fail. If you get into real estate because you think it's a get-rich-quick deal and it's going to happen overnight, you're probably going to fail. I don't care what business it is you look to get into, if you're not passionate about it, if it's not something you like, if it's not something you're willing to educate yourself on and put some time into, you're probably not going to do well, okay? So money is a result, not a cause. Now, the cause is find something you like. Find something you're interested in. Find something you're passionate about. Find something you want to learn and then educate yourself. And then do the business correctly. And if you do the business correctly, the money part comes automatically. Does that make sense to everybody? All right, so today is about that. And why are we here? Here's why we're here. Bill told you about 3 years ago, and it's going back 4.5 years ago. I had, as Bill told you, gained my financial independence by the time I was 23 years old in real estate. I'm going to teach you that today. At age 27, had a net worth of $1 million, wrote a book on how I did it. Next thing you know, I was speaking, wrote another book, which also became a bestseller. I ended up with 3 best-selling books. Now guys, I didn't graduate high school. Grew up in a very abused family, got into trouble very young. Parents died when I was 14 years old. By the time I was 16 and a half, me and my 18-year-old sister were living together in New York City. And so I had to quit school because my sister couldn't afford to take care of me. She was only 18 years old. And from there, I'm going to finish the rest of that story this afternoon when I talk to you about the inner voice of the self-made millionaire. Now, today, let me just say that here's what happened at 3.5, 4 years ago. I had built the largest education company in the world, Whitney Education Group, which is now Tyrant, and this company was doing $250 million a year. From 2001 to 2006, over 60,000 people a month were going through our training programs in 7 different countries. Has anybody ever heard of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad before? Okay. Well, I own 51% of the Rich Dad brand. Although Robert Kiyosaki wrote the book, I created all the training and education programs for Rich Dad Education. So if you've ever attended a seminar or a training event, etc., basically that's Russ Whitney's training programs with Robert Kiyosaki's name on it. Anybody ever heard of Dean Graziosi? All right, have you ever heard of Dean Graziosi on TV all the time? The home study course and the training programs were all developed by our company and then handed off to them. So it's kind of a branding issue, if you will. But anyway, here's what happened to me. I built the largest education company in the world, so we're doing $250 million a year, publicly traded company. Millions and millions of dollars in real estate, and I got hit like everyone else. And I also had a construction company. My construction company from 2002, now I was one of 4 partners, did about $700 million in business over that time period. And then I went through a horrendous downturn, tragedy in my life, tragedy in my family, tragedy in the business life. And I lost virtually 80 or 90% of my net worth. Now, keep in mind, if you're worth $180 million, 10% of $180 million is still okay. But that's a tragic thing to happen in one's life. How many people have run into some economic or personal problems in the last 3 or 4 years? Can I see your hands? How many people have had your ass kicked? Can I see your hands? Okay, hand kicked. How many people have gotten to a point, you don't have to raise your hands on this, where you just wondered, what's life about? What's the point? You know what I mean? And let me just give you an idea of what I was thinking. When this happened, you know, I went through a horrendous divorce. My children were estranged from me for a while. I lost huge sums of money. Most of all, I lost my dignity for a while because you know what? When one bases their value on things and stuff and material items, etc., and all of a sudden that's taken away, you know, and you start to question your own confidence, your self-esteem, the point of life. And here's one of the things that started to really make me think, and that is this. I'm looking at life. And I'm seeing life like a hamster wheel. Have you ever gone to the pet shop and seen a hamster on that wheel, just running on that wheel? Well, think about life. We go to work every day like the hamster, okay? We try to pay our bills. We try to get a new car. We try to get a new house. Try to make things better. We pay the bills again. Every once in a while, we have a vacation day or something good happens in life, and we say, wow, life is good. Next day, back on the hamster wheel. Then we get to 75 years old and we die. I started thinking about that, and my thinking was, if that's what life is all about, if there's a God, it would have to be a very sadistic God to make life just about that. Would you agree with that? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So there's got to be something bigger than the money. There's got to be something bigger than the job. There's got to be something bigger than the material things. And I truly believe, you know, the God that I believe in anyway, wants all of us to be wealthy, wants everybody to prosper.